Starting to the bottom right, we now have our Protoss player for Team LGIM. With a victory in this game, he can advance to the Premier League. It is
LGIM Ruin.
Ruining other people's chances in this group. He's taking them apart left and right.
And of course his opponent here, currently in a position where he is 1-1 in the group, starts to the top left on Anaconda. In red we have this is Keen, guys.
Yes.
In a gate. Yeah, alright, here we go.
MVP Keen.
Someone pressed the wrong button.
Can be forgiven. You know, I would not be surprised to see Keen go CC first on this map, but that's not really his style. And there's the barracks. We need to pause for some reason. There's a problem with the observing PC apparently. And you know, I don't actually. Talking about Keen here. Oh, he's not wearing his headset. Oh, that's actually a really big problem. That's what he's typed in chat there. He's like, Keen's not wearing his headset.
Okay, so what we usually have here is the sound. The booths that we have are pretty soundproof. We have at the same time the players usually wearing a headset and in-ears, and then there's a white noise generator in the booth as well. But of course, you want to make extra sure that the players have no idea what is being said in the cast. So
you know, nothing has been revealed here. You know, I suppose there's most likely, since there's a white noise generator, you probably couldn't hear anything anyways. But they may decide to rule a regame. I would not be surprised.
I think it gets a warning. That's it.
Yeah. Looks like they just paused it and went in. The only thing that it would be is like if he heard that there was a proxy or something, that wouldn't have been fair, but...
Yeah, and that's not the case, and it's also a little, yeah.
Look at this.
No information.
He goes really fast double gas cover. This could be a Cloak Banshee build or something, and even if it's Cloak Banshee, I'm almost feeling like this is going to be double Barracks Reapers.
This is super fast for Cloak Banshee. You don't see that
exactly.
second gas go down this early, especially with the Cloak Banshee upgrades that we have now.
You're right. I think it's going to be double Barracks Reaper, but he hasn't added a second Barracks. Of course, he can't afford that just yet. You know, the only other thing I could see is really fast stim. He's doing the Protoss style 2-in-2, so he gets a little bit more mineral mining. I have never seen this build before, ever.
It's pretty cute. I like that. I mean, I have never seen that either, but he's going for exactly the same thing that Protoss does here, 2-in-2.
The fast factory. So it's safer than a gas first factory, but the timing is very similar here. And he's going to be able to... Do you think he's going to try to bomber mech on this map? Because on this map, you can hold 3 bases very, very easily. It's hard for pros to attack into you. I think we're going to see mech, Kelder.
Yeah, but we saw how that worked out for Bomber.
That was poor defense against the Storms, though. I actually
Bomber
think...
was slept down in this game like crazy. I mean, did he even kill anything with his army?
Kelder, I think we're going to see fast Hellions first here.
We had a lot of Hellion builds, like a couple of really crazy builds like in the past, especially also at Aces, one of those builds that Harstim had to face against Dacian. Apparently that style defeated Protoss players like Mana in the past. So that's kind of unusual.
I really, really like it. You know, Keen has shown at Hellion builds on Whirlwind before, not quite like this.
He needs to shut down the probe, though.
Yeah, he needs to bring that Marine forward, needs to get that probe out of here. If the probe sees it, it's scouts everything.
No, not yet. He doesn't know about the gas. He only knows about the reactor and the factory.
Well, he can probably assume what's going on based on the fact he sees a factory and a reactor this fast. No other way for him to afford this. And but even if he knows, he needs to make sure he can defend well. He's going to go DTs here.
Yeah, hidden DTs, trying to make that work. That's going to be really interesting against the build that Keen is currently executing.
You know what's funny is with the rocks gone, these Hellions are not going to get in, like, at all. There's no way to get inside the base. Maybe a slight overstep here, but if he's just going into a mech composition in general, then the Hellions are going to be later on useful, and he doesn't rush them out here.
You have the Robo in the main base now. The Hellions moving in 4 in total.
Is that Stalker actually going to get crushed by the rocks? I don't think so. It's pretty close. He moves it.
I want to see more units get crushed by rocks.
He does not have the Dark Shrine down at the natural. He can't do that. He has to make it in his main base. And it's going to be a DT drop here.
It would be quite interesting if he actually finds them.
Well, he goes Blink. This is so strange. And if he finds it, it would be even stranger.
Hidden Blink?
Hidden Blink, plus he's going for Robo. And you can just do that with a Mothership Core. You don't need an Observer to do a Blink Stalker build.
Look how close those Hellions are. They're really close, a little bit farther to the right, and they would be able to spot that.
And it is, of course, going to be a regular transition here for Keen. Not actually going into the next start stim. And this is so weird. The way that he's doing this build with the blink means that if a Reaper, for example, had come into his main base, anything like that, he wouldn't see it.
Yeah, the big problem also is that there is not a lot that can really fend off a good blink build, and the Hellions, they don't see anything. The pylon, oh, actually, does he? No, he doesn't spot it. Oh, yes, he does. All right, so now he sees the pylon, and that already gives him an idea that something fishy is going on.
Yeah, it doesn't cancel the pylon. He warps in actually a Stalker. He will lose that Stalker.
Yeah, you will lose the Stalker, but that kind of reveals already what's happening here.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily everything, but that already shows Keen that Ruin is trying to be aggressive.
Keen will start a bunker, but the thing is, we talked about this before, that warping point with the pylon in the back, that's also good for blink, so you can blink into the back, right over that ridge. He has vision, and
the Stalkers, you know, the Stalkers might not be there in time to save the pylon. They are waiting for Blink to get out. They won't. And now we have DTs coming in, so Rune is just trying to go from step 1 to step 2. Plan B is in process.
He needs a Warp Prism. That's really what he needs here. That pylon is definitely not making it, and it looks like he's going to ignore this. Well, he has some second thoughts about it, but the pylon is definitely gone. He has no forward warping point. He has no Warp Prism.
But we have Stim nearly there, and Stim and Marauders, would they be exactly what Key needs against Ruin's army?
If he gets a few more seconds, as he's also going to have the Medivacs, I think he can actually defend this. It's going to be close, though.
And here come the SCVs off the line. The Medivac is there. Here's the Marauder as well. Stim is completed in a second. He could use that.
Yep. He's also going to get a Widowmine here. Good micro so far by Pig Baby. Now he's flanked by the Hellions. The Hellions, though, need to run back up to the main base if they want to be saved.
Yeah, and now we have the rest of the Hellions going down here, chased down by the Blink. Ruin is blinking after his opponent's units. Has now also the Observer in the main base. But DTs, the Dark Shrine, that might give Keen something to think about.
Ruin with a good position here on the Widowmine. That was really nice. And there's not quite enough units to where he has to run away. He can start doing little pickoffs like this. But Keen, he is on 2 bases right now. He clears up the Observer.
Here comes the Dark Templar on the other hand.
Yeah.
And one scan has just been used to take down the Observer. That's what Ruin immediately rebuilds.
He has another scan saved, and I think it's, actually intentioned for Observers, but it's going to be very useful against the DTs as well. No Engineering Bay.
He knows that there's a Templar, a Twilight Council, so the leap to the Dark Shrine is not the biggest one.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense for him to save a few scans here, just to be on the safe side. And those DTs, as soon as they're in the base and as soon as they're spotted, he knows what's happening. But he sees with the scan that there's actually a very late expansion for his opponent. That must make Keen feel really good about his position.
Keen is going to jump up in the air when he sees that, and he can now also see this DT. He's already spotted it, and he's not quite enough energy. Yeah, he definitely didn't since he just flew away. This could change things. There's also Blink Stalkers at the back.
Exactly. They're going for the natural right now as we speak, and all those SCVs are running away. The natural is completely exposed. Keen decides to just go for the attack.
This is the best thing possible for Ruin right now in this game. This is exactly what he wants to have happen. There's an Observer here. He wants to scan and kill us with a Widowmine. I think he whiffs it. No, he goes for a scan here. And with DT Warpins for defense.
Why is he scanning ahead so fast? Because the problem is he needs another scan against the DTs. Now he takes it down. There was a little bit of a mistiming here by Ruin that he didn't know about. But now the snipe on the Nexus is good. And Terran buildings, they can fly. And that's something that Ruin, of course, already knows. He blinks after the command center, trying to take it down.
He needs to blink again so he can get away from those SCVs.
And that's it. There are still DTs, and we don't have a command center left. There is no detection.
But he can kill the buildings faster with his mobility potentially, so this game is definitely not over.
Where are the probes?
The probes are all dead. They couldn't run away because they were trapped by the rocks. Although they are alive, 25 of them, but there's nothing he can do to save them. And the only buildings he's going to have are the Twilight Council that has just now been spotted, and the pylon in the middle of the map.
Yeah, but the tile in the middle of the map, that is not going to be real for a little bit longer. But yes, Keen is now flying all the rest of his buildings away.
I give Keen an advantage here. I think he wins.
Yeah, he should win. I mean, the only reason why he doesn't win is if he... Keen cannot lose. If Keen flies the buildings to the top right, lifts all his units into the Medivacs, he cannot lose. The only thing that he has to kill are the structures here at the bottom, and they will be revealed eventually. He cannot lose this game. It's impossible.
It's impossible. He saves his barracks. They are floated, and Ruin is just going to have to accept reality here because...
Yeah, this
he didn't have enough. He didn't have enough DTs. He walked his DT into a scan for some reason when he was trying to defend. GG.
The only thing that it could have forced a draw here was if Keen gets all his units killed. Let's say he lifts everything in the Medivac, and then suddenly there comes a surprise blink by the Stalkers. The Medivacs are taken out. Keen doesn't have a single unit left anymore. Then Ruin could have forced a draw, but that's also a very Yeah, that isn't really not gonna happen. But Ruin couldn't have won that game anymore after he didn't have any anti-air, he didn't have any probes left, he couldn't build any kind of units anymore, so no anti-air. And with those buildings flying on the edge, there was just no way.
Yeah, he got the DTs and that was a good thing for him, but he didn't have enough at home to defend. If he had 3 DTs at home, maybe he could have defended. It would have been still really close, but
if he would have warped in, I mean, would have, could have, should have, would have warped in those DTs a little bit slower after the scan, then he could have actually taken down that army, because the first command center was already gone. And I feel the reason why Keen dropped that scan this early was because the command center was attacked, he was trying to save it.
Yeah, that's actually, that's definitely true.
He drops the scan before, flies it away then, but just think about that 1 DT being warped in outside of the scan range, waits that up and just moves in and takes hits at the units every single time they're there. Then maybe he can take down the army.
So as it is, Keen goes to 2-1, and Ruin not out of the group just yet.
We are going into a short break, and when we are back, then we are going to our next match here at the WCS Up and Downs Group C.